Welcome back to Journey to Peace with me. If you are new here, I thank you for clicking on this video. And if you are already subscribed, I appreciate you for coming back. So in today's video, we are doing another stuffing Sunday. So I have my money here. I have my cards. I have my sinking fund. And if you are ready, you can't forget the star of the show, which is my wallet. So if you are ready, let's jump into it. So I'm going to cut to a shot real quick of the money already laid out, and then you'll see that. So as you can see, I have new dividers. So we are retiring my old dividers, which are super raggedy. This is what my old dividers look like, super raggedy. As you can see here, they have torn up all at the top. And these are my new dividers. And my new dividers were made by a fellow YouTuber. She told me she does not need a shout out, so I'm going to follow directions and not do that. But she was so kind in making these for me, and I really appreciate her because she heard me keep talking about how raggedy they are and that I'm going to do them. And then, you know, life just kind of got in the way. But I have them, and I really appreciate them. All right, so let's get to it. So first up, I haven't even checked to see if they fit. So let me make sure they fit. And they do. They fit so well in here. All right, so it's sitting in there just like that. All right, so let's get started. I had to switch to a voiceover in the section because my son and my nephew were playing with Google, and this is what you hear.
Hey Google, make an elephant sound.
This is an elephant.
Hey Google, make a snake sound.
This is a rattlesnake.
So our first category up is going to be restaurants. And restaurant is going to get $150, and I'm going to give it 5 20s, 3 10s, 3 5s, and 5 1s. And I do $150 because as a family of 5, we eat out a couple times in the pay period. And I also want to make sure I'm not eating all of the restaurant money myself. So I put the extra money in there just so when I go to work, I have it. And I sit the money in front of the divider and I sit it in my wallet, and that's the way it looks when it's all placed in. The next category up is date night. So date night is going to get $75. I'm going to give it $150, $120, and $15. And with the date night money, all of the money that we don't spend gets carried over and it stays inside of the wallet and inside of the divider. So I'm going to go ahead and add the money that was in the other category with the raggedy dividers that we are trashing, and add that now to my stash. And so this is going to go toward our date night. I know we have a pretty expensive one coming up in June, and then there's also a couple's date night in April, and that's what we're going to use this money for. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this into my wallet, and I sit it right behind restaurants, and it just sits there and stays until we are ready to use it. the money goes in front of the divider, and that's just easiest for me to remember what I'm spending and when. The next category is gas. So gas is going to get $175. So I'm going to give it 3 fives, 120, and 1 5. This is good for 3.5 fill-ups for me. And recently, it looks like I've been filling up 3 times a pay period. It's because we do a lot of traveling on Saturday. So now that goes in the wallet and it sits behind our date night category. So the next category up, groceries. Because I'm on this new eating plan, I am probably going to end up spending a great majority of our grocery money. But grocery is going to get $250. It's broken up in 2 weeks. So each week I give $125. So that's why you see me put here 100, a 20, and a 5. And then I'm going to do it again. And that's how it sits. So I know which week I'm on and what I should be spending. So next up is the miscellaneous category, and I love my new divider. It is so beautiful. So miscellaneous is going to get $100. It's going to get 3 20s, 2 10s, 3 5s, and 5 1s, and I can already tell you what I will probably end up spending some of this miscellaneous money on is these janky fingernails. Do y'all see this? I need a fill, but 2 of my fingernails broke, and so I was waiting for them to grow out a little bit because they broke pretty low before I go back and get a fill. And if you keep hearing this white noise sound in the background, it's because my computer keeps overheating as I'm trying to do this voiceover, and so it's getting difficult trying to just, redo it and redo it without that noise in the background. So sorry about that, y'all. I should be back to normal the next time we do this. And we can't forget about the babies because they need their allowance. So my 2 little ones, they get $10. It's broken up into 1 5 and 5 1s. And then the oldest, she gets a $20 bill. And how I separate them, you'll see, is I put the money, the 5 1s there, and then that's one child. I put the $20 in the middle. That's for the oldest, and then I put the other $10 on top of it, and that's for the other child. So it stays separated like that in the back of my wallet. And when big girl starts to use her money, I just fold her 20 in half or whatever she has remaining in half, and that separates the front from the back. So at this point, all of the categories in my wallet that have dividers are now stuffed and done. But moving on, I need to do my tithe, and that also goes in my wallet so that when I go to church, I can pay it. Tithe gets $200. It's broken up into 2 $100 bills. What also goes into my wallet is daycare. And daycare gets $150. It gets a $150 bill, and that sits in my wallet. And so when they go to daycare, I go ahead and pay that out. The other thing that sits in my wallet is my phone bill. So my phone bill gets $80. It's broken up into a 50, a 20, and a 10. My phone bill isn't typically that high, and I just use that extra money for whatever stuff that pops up throughout the pay period with that $30 because I just give $50 to my sister since we are on a joint plan. And so that's it for everything that goes into my wallet. From here, we are going to stuff my sinking funds, and you all know how this goes. I typically do a music and let you guys listen to that as I'm filling it in. So this $50 that I'm doing right now is for aftercare for Big Girl, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the front with her other $50, and that way when it's time to pay for daycare or aftercare for her, I have that money set aside because her aftercare is $100. The next thing that I'm going to do is put a 50 and a 10 together. That's baby girl's gymnastics, and that comes out of my debit account. So I make sure we set the money aside, and then I can go ahead and put it back up. And so there you can see that that's what category I'm putting that in. And so from here, I'm going ahead and going next to our vacation. And I know you can't really tell very well with the angle of the recording and the sinking fund, but I'm putting $100 into the vacation fund. There it is, $100. You know, the struggle is real trying to do this so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing, because that's what you said you wanted to see. And then I am moving now on to $53, and that's going to go into my personal account. And remember, I told you that I would spend half of it on my student loan and the other half on whatever else I decided I wanted to spend it on. So $53 is going to go into that. And every other category from here is going to get $22. So as I separate it out, I'm just going to play some music so you guys can watch me stuff the rest of my sinking funds. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment in the comment section down below about how you're doing with your stuffing your wallets. Are you doing it on Sundays with me? Do you do it on a different day? Do you follow the categories, or do you have different categories of your own? And next time, I hope to be back to normal so I don't have to do this voiceover. But again, I thank you for stopping by and joining us. Until next time, journey on.